Hey sis, hey, welcome back. My name is Abaya Jones. If you're new here, I am a wife, a mother, grandmother, keeper of the commandments of Yah, and I do want to thank you for joining me today. And today we're going to continue our discussion on how to save $500 a month. Today we are going to be talking about saving money with the children. And family. All right, let's go ahead and get into it. So, the first tip that I have for you is to swap toys, clothes, baby items, anything like that with other moms. So, kids outgrow stuff very fast. When you swap items with others, you know, you can save all kinds of money and they can save all kinds of money. Um, examples would be like a stroller, it could cost $200 or more brand new. And it can often be traded, with other moms for um, other items that they may need. They don't need the strollers anymore or other items. Um, or sometimes you can borrow these things for free because, they're not needed very long. Um, in other families, they can have them sitting around not doing anything. So yeah, try to swap like toys, um, even clothing, um, with other moms, and it can help save money, save you money, save them money. Um, all right, and so the next tip is going to be to pack lunches instead of buying school lunches or whatever lunches. Um, I know that a lot of you are homeschool moms, um, and that's really good. So you're already packing lunches, I would assume. But yeah, for those moms that do have children in schools, yeah, pack their lunch instead of buying a school lunch. School lunches, those costs can add up, you know, $20, $30 a week, depending on what area you live in, and that's per child. So, yeah, packing healthy homemade lunches, it saves money and it also gives you control over their nutrition as well. All right, so the next tip is going to make homemade snacks instead of store bought snacks. We've talked in other videos about making homemade instead of store bought. Um, And it's the same thing. It's the same thing with this one. Those prepackaged snacks, like granola bars, whatever the children eat, they're pricey. You can save money by making your own. You can do big batch cooking. Ooh, try to say that 3 times. But you can do big batch cooking like homemade muffins, trail mix, um, popcorn, different type of snacks, and it's going to save money. All right, so the next tip is going to use libraries for books, movies, and activities. Libraries have all of these things. Um, Library cards are usually free. Yeah, get one for your children, um, and utilize them. You know, Beyond just books, libraries offer other things, lots of things. Movies, audiobooks, they have story hours for the children, they have different crafts sometimes, and even events sometimes. And they're all free. It's all free. Just have a library card. That's all you need. All right, the next tip is going to be to plan free family activities. Um, Stuff like going to the park, going hiking, going to the beach, having game night. All of these things are going to be just as fun for the children as an expensive outing. You know, children, they enjoy these activities and others. You can find many free things to do for the children. And, the memories that they're going to have, it comes from spending time together. It's not going to come from how much money that you spend. They don't even know how much money you're spending. Save money. Save money towards that $500 a month, and find free activities. All right, the next tip is going to be to buy secondhand clothes um, and things for the children. We talked a little bit about this in the last video, but yeah, kids outgrow clothes every few months. There's no need to spend a lot of money on children's clothes. They are constantly growing out of them, which takes us back to tip, I think it was number one with the swaps. Yeah, kids outgrow clothes, every few months. And depending on their age, sometimes quicker than that. You can go to like thrift stores. You can utilize Facebook Marketplace, even like consignment shops. Um, they have nearly new items at a fraction of the cost of a like store, department store, or whatever. All right, the next tip is going to be to plan your own like celebrations at home for the children. So things like graduation parties, um, any kind of celebration that you want to do for the children. Um, yeah, do them at home. Um, Renting venues, they can cost hundreds of dollars. Um, you can save money by just doing it yourself at home. You can utilize the backyard. You can make your own decorations, plan your own games, make your own food, and it's going to be just as fun and memorable for the children as spending a whole lot of money renting venues and caterers and things of that nature. Um, Children they're easy to please. They're easy to please. Um, a lot of times we do those things trying to impress other parents, you know, and it's not even necessary because it is about the children and they're going to enjoy themselves regardless. All right. So the next tip is going to be to limit the paid screen time subscriptions. You know, we talked a little bit about this in another video about canceling the cable. But in any event, children, they don't need, five streaming platforms. They just don't. They don't need to be watching that much TV. Um, you should pick just like one option that is family friendly, um, or you can just rotate subscriptions and cut costs, but you don't need five, six, seven streaming channels. It's a waste of money. Okay. All right. The next tip is going to be to use coupons for diapers, formula, or wipes. This is self-explanatory. Baby items are very expensive. Very. Um, you know, Coupons and, like buying in bulk, it does help. I would actually even suggest like cloth diapers, but again, that's another topic for another video. Um, but yeah, use coupons for these things. They are very expensive. Try to find deals. Um, yeah, they are very expensive. Okay. And there are apps that like oh, what is it? The Target Circle, or like the Amazon subscriptions, or what is it? Subscribe and Save, I think it's called. You know, those savings, they add up. Um, and you can utilize those to help save money. All right, the final tip for this video is not so much about saving money, but it is just as important. And it is to teach your children about saving and budgeting early. Um, Giving them an allowance um, and showing them how to budget, it's going to teach lifelong habits. Um, Even using a jar system, you know, um, you can make like money lessons fun for the children, but they need to know how to budget. This is going to save them a whole lot of heartache, you know, in the future. They need to know these things before they become an adult. For my homeschooling moms, you can make it a part of, one of your lessons, but teach them how to budget early. It's going to be very important. It's going to be very important. All right. So that is the 10 tips for this video. And we are almost to the finish line. We have just 10 tips left. Um, and that subject is going to be money and lifestyle. This is going to be a big one. This is going to be a big one, and probably the most important. We're saving the best for last. Um, yeah, yeah. So, and that will be our final video. We're going to wrap up this series um, talking about money and lifestyle. And we will do that one next week. So I do hope that you join me. And I hope that you're getting something from this series. I hope that you're benefiting from it somehow. Um, is like I said, if we utilize all of these or as many as we can that pertain to us, we could be saving so much money, sis. We can. We can. And reminds me of the verse, foolish woman plucketh her house down, but we can help build it up like a wise woman, by saving money, putting more money in savings, and not being being resourceful. All right, so that is it for today. If you did like this video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button. You can leave me a comment as well. I would love to hear from you. I would appreciate if you would go ahead and subscribe to my channel if you are not already subscribed. And I will see you in the next one. Shalom.